I just learned that beauty school starts the second Monday of every month. So I can join once every 30 days, and I'm getting an opportunity to join. I think I'm gonna do beauty school. That's a weird thing to hear myself say. I've always had a lot of respect for beauty and enjoyed the craft of it all. I don't know if I can do it for a living, but I could do it for right now. I could do it for my 20s and go into something else in my 30s. Like, why not? As far as getting a car, I was really like, I'm gonna get it. And now we're at a point, okay? So this girl I was besties with thinks that I have a crush on her. I don't, but she does have a pattern of thinking that everybody likes her. Look at me being messy and airing everything on the internet, but like, none of y'all know anyone I'm talking about. I got 11 views on my last video. That's kind of like a lot to me though. That means a lot to me. I don't care if it shouldn't. It makes me really happy. Spiel aside, to go back to what I was saying, there's this girl I was besties with. It's gonna be so funny because when I watch this back, I'm gonna be like, damn though, like we were not. I'm gonna be in such a different place and have so many different people around me. I'm gonna look at this and be like, that girl. But yeah, for the moment, she was my bestie, as to what that meant for what that was at that moment. And honestly, that's just codependency. Like, I do not have healthy relationships. I don't. And I don't like that about myself. I don't like that, you know, the whole quote about like, plant flowers and the right butterflies will come or whatever. I be attracting monstrous butterflies. I be attracting butterflies that have like fucking fangs. I am not planting the right flowers, but it's not that exactly. It's not that exactly, because I am planting some of the right flowers, but then there's a lot of seeds that I can't unlock because I don't have a car. And once I get a car, I'll unlock more seeds. Like, I'm gonna like do a dance class, I think, if I can manage that while also doing beauty school. I need to go more to places that are me. I need to have hobbies in the city that can lead me to connecting with other people. Another thing that I need to do is I need to reject people. That is like such a major issue for me, is I start to see someone's flaws and I'm like, you could stick around. You can stick around. I don't got nothing better to do. Girl, get something better to do. There's certain standards, and if you don't meet them, you should be cut the second I see it. I listen to that? No. Because I wanted friends so badly, but did I get them? Not exactly. I made memories and I had a lot of fun, but I wouldn't say that I gained any friends. Gained like fair weather friends. Anyway, this girl, we bonded easily because we liked to be messy and observe people. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of our friendship was based off of gossiping about people. And I got to like, in the beginning it was funny because it was like, this is just, there's so much going on right now. But then there would be quiet moments where there wasn't anything going on and it was like, you don't really do anything. Like, the only thing that she would do would study. And I was like, not about it, because I like to do events for the event, which was another thing. She would kind of like not like to go out to events with me because I would jump around and socialize with everyone before I got with the guy, and then I only glued myself to him most of the time. I would just be a social butterfly for the events, and she didn't like that. It didn't work for us. And I tried to fix it, but then I didn't, because I was like, no wait, this is just who I am. I am just a fucking conversational jumper. I love to pay attention to everyone. I love that everyone in the room is so sparkly and new to me most of the time. And once they're not sparkly and new, I still jump around because I just, what's up? Like, how you doing? Okay, next, how you doing? Like, I don't know, that's just how I socialize. It's like, there was a couple things wrong with the way that our dynamic worked, but we worked because I was codependent, and I think that she is too. Point being, our friendship was based off of gossip, And I didn't like that, and I noted that, and I tried to change it a little bit and make it more activity based, but then it was an issue like, oh, you're not talking to me enough in the groups, and it's like, oh, that's how I socialize. Do you want to do activities? And she would say no to like activity things a lot. So then I kind of gave up on that too, and I was like, I guess this is our dynamic. We just talk about people. And I accepted that dynamic even though I didn't want it. I'm so upset with myself in a way about that. I default to codependency with people that allow me to do that. And there was a lot going on during that time in my life, so I understand how that happened. And I'm glad to say I don't live in the dorms anymore for that reason, because it was just too easy, and it almost felt like a requirement to be codependent when I was in there, because there's people all around you all the time, and it kind of feels like you always see people with their with their friends, because you do see people with their friends all the time, but I don't see people so much when they're alone, not because they aren't physically there. I saw people walk alone all the time, but because they're not loud, they're not drawing attention to themselves. All the attention is on the fact of, look at all these people with all these friends, look at all these people who have all these people to hang out with, look at all these people doing all these events, look at all these people peopling. And I was like, fuck, I gotta do that too. I gotta be around people all the time. I don't want that. I don't want to want that. But that is my natural fucking disposition. I didn't even finish telling you the fucking tea about that girl. Okay, so she thinks that I have a crush on her and got all mad at me for it, I guess, and was talking mad shit about me with a whole group of people. One of these girls being someone who does not like me. That's so weird. And I sent her this like diary entry, this journal post that I made on an Instagram account, and she like shared it, and like I had an intuitive feeling that she did, but that's so low and weird. Like, that was some of my poetry writing, and that was some of my, like, I was just saying a lot of things. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about there being an audience, because there wasn't meant to be one. And I think that it's like really disrespectful to have read that out to people, because I was processing my emotions in that about a guy and trying to appreciate my life, and I didn't phrase it and filter it in a way that I typically need to when I talk to people. Like, did I post it on the internet? Yes. And I accept the consequences for if that account ever got leaked, all of the posts. I accept that. What I don't accept is someone reading it out who's supposed to be my friend. And then I texted her. I was like, are you mad at me? And she was like, I just need some time right now. And I was like, okay. I text someone else. I'm gonna find out. Come to find that I have a crush on her, and I was flirting with her over winter break. A week ago, I was telling this girl I caught feelings for this guy that I'm in a friends with benefits, non-serious like relationship with. Literally a week ago, I was just telling you, like, I've been bawling my eyes out over this guy, and you're mad at me because I have a crush on you? Huh? Where did you get that? What in your brain is so desperate for love that you would think that? You think that that's not what being interested in someone is. And I'm sorry that you think that that's what someone being interested in you looks like. It's a weird situation, like weird vibes, as in like, what are you doing? And I just am okay with letting that go. But at the same time, I'm also like, damn, like reflecting on it, I shouldn't have been friends with you at a certain point. There was a point where I noticed, there was a point where I took note, where I said, fuck, all we do is gossip. And that's fun when you first get to know someone, because it's just like, it's cute, it's banter, it's girly, it's so like, I love like bonding over hating someone. And I know that that's immature, but the thing is, like, is there anything deeper than it? That's what matters. Because if you bond with someone over like hating someone and then there's nothing deeper to it, it will turn on you. And I knew that. I know this is a social consequence, is being besties with a girly because you hate on other girlies and they're gonna hate you. Like, I know, but you don't understand the way that I view friendship is so ride or die. I'm so like all or nothing. And I need to stop doing that so quickly. I need to like vet my friends, which I honestly don't think about. I think about like vetting guys that I'm with. Do I actually vet them? No, but we're changing that in 2026. I'm over men. I'm over men. I don't know the last time I talked to y'all about my whole feelings for that guy. I know I was really broken up about it. I know I was crying. I experienced something very cool. I got to experience like comfort with someone. I'm not used to that. That is a very intense experience for my brain, and I got to experience also mourning it. I want something different. I don't know what I want necessarily because I don't know what to like ask for. I just want something different, really serious about reinventing myself as a person this year. And part of that is treating myself better by being more selective about who I'm around. And it feels really mean to say that. I feel like a mean girl. And I hate to feel like a mean girl because I feel like I don't have the right to be mean to people because I don't have a certain level of social power, which, to translate that, I basically think only pretty people are allowed to be mean because they have a certain social power, certain pretty privilege that it's like, it's not right. It's not right to be mean to anyone, and no one really has the right to be mean to people. However, socially speaking. But yeah, anyway, the tangent aside about appearances, I don't like to not be friends with people, to say, ooh, I see something and I can tell that this isn't gonna work, because it feels mean. It feels like I'm rejecting someone, because I am. Because that's how you find your people, is you reject them. You reject the people that aren't your people to make room for your people. That is how you find your friends. But it's so hard for me. And I just need to get over it, and I am getting over it. I am doing that by choosing not to recontact a lot of people, but it feels scary because it's kind of like, I feel like I reject everyone. I feel like, I've talked about this before, I feel like I'm so hard to be friends with because I have standards that are just so tricky. And I part of what is making those standards tricky is me being a little bit toxic in terms of like codependency, but I just need to be more watchful of that and really ask myself why I'm not vibing with someone, because I think sometimes it has been, you're like giving no red flags, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want to have that reaction to someone that gives no red flags. I want to have intrigue and interest about people who only give green flags. But it's so daunting to me to see someone that I like and really mean it, because very soon I find, ooh, we have an issue. And then there's the question that comes up next naturally, which is this still gonna work? And my reaction to that is to pretend like that question didn't come up. What do you mean, is it still gonna work? Huh? Like, it's giving child. It's giving very like, grow up, you know? Take your fingers out of your ear and listen. Can you be with this person despite this thing? And then it's like, well, how does that impact me? Negative or positive? And consider all the other options. And I think the thing is just that with her, with the whole like, we gossiped too much and I didn't like that, I didn't mind it because I was like, well, yeah, but it's someone I can always be around. Why do you always gotta be around someone? Let's talk about that. Why are you so obsessive about constantly having someone in your vicinity? Why are you so scared to be not alone, but like still? Because other people, their energy gets too loud and I'm unable to be still anymore. And then all of it goes away and I get scared. Why is that? Because I think it's because I don't have anything to do. I think a major source of my issues has been that I don't have my own independent things to go do. And I could kind of see that in the dorms too with some people. Like, they didn't have enough going on in their life, and I could see it in other people because I game recognizes game, you know? Like, I know personally. And it's really hard for me to have my own things going on because honestly, I struggle with like self-motivation. Like, this idea of like, I'm gonna go in my room and just paint right now. Just spontaneously paint something because I'm a painter. Because I bought paint and I bought canvases because I'm a painter. I didn't buy canvases and paint because I'm a painter. I bought that shit so I could paint with other people. And I spent $100 on that shit. And then I got here, I came back from the dorms and I was like, all right, you know, let's do something. And I look at my paints. Hi, Echo. And that is not a thing I want to be picking up. Is not, because I think about people I could paint with when I look at my paint. And that would be okay if it was just that, but it's like that for goddamn everything. I just want to do stuff with people. I don't want to do things alone. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, because I think the issue is just that I'm too alone. Very, like, honestly, I don't think the issue is that I crave people too much. I think that I am too alone. I think that having a car will allow me to be around people in ways that will be fulfilling and isn't necessarily friendship, and then I won't mind being alone. I just asked my mom if we could practice driving today, and she said no. I said, what about tomorrow? She said maybe, depending on the weather, and it's just exhausting to ask her because it feels like someone's telling me every time, like, I don't care about you. I feel so much and I go through so much in my head. And I have these crazy high emotions, and it's just my experience in the world, and I can't do anything about it. Oh, I'm gonna start crying. It's really hard to experience that. It's really, really hard to experience being in my brain, and I spent so much time being shamed for it that I don't really have the ability to afford to give a fuck about being so much and being so intensive. Like, if you think I'm psycho, fuck, me too. But I know that I'm so much more than that. I put in so much effort to just function and not be losing my mind all the time because of my emotions. I see a lot of stuff that tells me that it isn't working, and I just ignore it and try to, you know, focus on what tells me that it is working, because there's always, you know, both. There's two ways to look at everything. It is what it is for the moment, and it doesn't define me for my whole life. It would be so different if I had a car, and I just have to prove that to myself once I get a car. I don't have a car yet. Oh no, I can look at all this stuff and be like, you know, everything's going to shit. Or I can look at the good. I'm not cried out. I don't even know why I cried. It's just tough. I recently got into Ariana Grande and her music because I remembered that she had like, well, she's just been on my mind because she keeps getting recommended to me online, and I was like, yeah, she's an it girl, cool. But I don't really see what I have to learn from her. I don't know why I keep having her in my rotation of thoughts. And then I remembered like all her music that's so like, it feels so young. It feels so good to be so young and successful. Like, I was like, okay, wait. I could low-key make an Ariana Grande playlist that's all songs that are really positive and about healing and learning. And so I listened to her entire discography. She is a very interesting person. Oh my goodness. Listening to her entire discography like all at once, I didn't listen to the full songs, I just listened to enough to know if it was the vibe that I was going for. I remember thinking like, yeah, I can see why her relationships are so I don't want to say tumultuous. I don't even know how to say that word, so I shouldn't be saying that shit. But because that feels too personal. That feels like an attack. I just mean like she, in her songs, talks a lot about, I don't give a shit about you, but also I love you and you're just great and I don't give a fuck. But it's like this very back and forth, like very not push-pull, but very like changed her mind. Like push-pull kind of assumes that like I push and then I pull and then I push and then I pull. And with Ariana, it kind of just seems like she is one direction and then she's gone. And the next guy, who knows what direction they'll get, push or pull, but she will stay there until she's gone and she's with another guy. And it was a little therapeutic to listen to because I was kind of like, shit, I see myself in this a little bit. This feeling safe when you have power over them, that is what her music gives. Her love songs, she very much gives like, I'm fine because I know that I'm above you in this dynamic. I know that I have something, like whether that's emotional attachment that's not there, or like just too busy, or like a good group of friends. Like I have something that means that I'm safe from you. You can't fully get into me yet. I very much relate to that. And then there's the songs where it's like, you got me completely, and I'm under your spell, and I can't do anything without you, and all this stuff. And it's like, ooh. So you try to fight being attached, but then because once you're attached, you are locked in, and that shit hurts when you get knocked off of it. And that's why she's got so many good songs that are like about healing and about getting through stuff, and just like the just keep breathing song, or everything's gonna be all right. And like she like she has these songs where it's like, girl, get back up, we got a show to put on, get back up. And that's the picture that she's painted. At least that's what I feel her dynamic is based off of her music. I could be totally wrong, and it doesn't really matter. The picture that her music paints for me is push or pull, and then try to be detached as possible. But if I get attached, oops, okay, wait, this didn't work out. Actually, I'm good, you guys, I'm good. I'm heartbroken, and then I'm good. To not have a car. It all circles back to that, because let's go back to like not being able to be alone. I have this dependency on other people because I literally have a dependency on people. Like I literally depend on someone for getting out of the house. Like that is not a good state to be in when you don't like your household vibes. It just feels so tiresome here. I don't feel energized by being here because I'm an extrovert. I have to get out of the house. And if my only way out of the house is dependent on other people, of course I'm going to be like not acting in alignment to myself and like trying to make things work where I should just walk away. That's what I was thinking about too. I was downstairs and I was like, damn, I kind of want to cry. And I might. Because I hate being alone. I don't know why I can't just be alone. It just feels so empty. And I thought like, maybe it's because I don't have enough happening. Maybe it's because I'm so dependent on other people to make things happen that like, when I don't have someone to socialize with, like, I don't have anything going on. Because I don't like having hobbies. I don't like, I've talked to my therapist about this. When no one else is there, I don't have, like, someone to perform for. I don't have, like a reason to pretend to have a personality. And I've been trying to treat myself more like I am someone worth performing for when I'm alone. And that does help. Makes me feel a little less alone in a weird way. you know, like singing and just like making little, I don't know, like jokes with myself, making little like moments with myself, you know. Like a really small example is like when I put my hair up in a messy bun, I like feel really different when I like pull out strands, like face shaping strands, whatever the fuck, versus if I just put it all up and don't think about it, because one looks better and one doesn't. And it's not about like how I appear, because either way it's never like the cutest messy bun, because that takes a minute, and that takes some bobby pins, and I'm not getting out bobby pins. It makes me feel like I'm worth putting effort into for myself, you know, just for my eyes only. I'm worth having a cuter messy bun. It's just been really hard to be alone, because I feel like it never will end, because I don't know enough people to make it end. Like, I don't know enough people to have a stacked calendar that want to pick me up, you know, that can pick me up. I just said I'm dropping everyone that I knew, so what does that even matter? I don't know. It's just so hard to be alone, because I don't know where I'm going. And I think that being alone makes me confront that fact. And I wish I knew where I was going. I wish I had a person to go to. I wish that there was like someone that I was building myself up for, you know. I wish that I could think of people that would be proud of me in a really like deep and genuine way, and like impacts their emotions, you know. Like, I wish I had people to be proud of me, like for anything that I want to do. I wish someone would just, you know, hear what I want to do and be like, that is so awesome, Silver. That is the coolest thing ever. I'm so excited for you. Like, you know, I can grab any random person at the bar and tell them, oh, I'm doing this. And they're like, that is so awesome. That is so cool. I'm so excited for you. But it's this, you know, if I never see you again in 3 years, you aren't going to wonder, like, did she ever end up getting her degree? You're not going to wonder about me. And I'm carrying so much, fighting so many, like, internalized issues that I'm trying to tell myself aren't true, and that I'm trying to, like, get over and not, you know, be held back. And I'm doing all of it alone. And it's so hard, because it doesn't feel like there's a point when there's not going to be, like, anyone at the other side of succeeding. Which is why I hate being alone. I hate thinking about, like, where I'm going in life, because I don't know who I'm going with. And it's not about, like, even hating being alone at that point. It's about, like, just having other people be there for me. It feels like everyone all has their person they get to share their life with, and I don't. And that's, like, all I want. I hate that I want that. I hate that I need that. I hate that I'm so desperate to have someone to share my life with that I just completely ignore red flags, because I'm like, at least it's someone. At least I get along with them. At least this, at least that. Like, I want someone that I can share my life with, but I don't have a life to share at the moment, because I don't have a car, so I can't go places, and I can't do what I want to do, and I can't be my own person. And then I end up being codependent with people because I want to share my life, but I don't have one. Just, like, get the car this weekend. I had a sleepover with this girl because I wanted to get, like, the tea on everything that happened. I just lost an entire hour of me talking and realizing so many things, and we just gotta say fuck it and ball, I guess. Holy shit, that hurt. Kinda came to the conclusion that I don't think I want to talk to anyone from college, like, ever again. I haven't hung out with that guy that I was supposed to hang out with so I could break things off because he got sick and he canceled. So I went out and I was like, well, listen to this. I was like, let me call this Uber guy that I know who has given me rides before. Mind you, there have been moments where he says or does something and I'm a little like, huh. I feel uncomfortable because you're an old man. And that feels like a crazy sentence to say, so I ignore it because, hey, he's just some old guy. Like, don't be mean, motherfucker. We were in the car. He picks me up. He thinks that I'm at the bar. I tell him, no, I want you to pick me up from my house. And he's like, you mean campus? And I'm like, no, my house. I get in and he's like, oh, sorry if it's messy back there. I just kind of got up and went. So like, when I ask, like I text him because I have his number, like, are you Ubering right now? Like, can you pick me up right now? That's what I'm saying is like, are you already Ubering? Don't rush out of bed just to get me a ride. I can take a real Uber. The thing is that he was cheaper. Every time I ever took a ride with him before, he charged me $20. I tried to give him more and he'd always be like, no, we'll get to that. Anyway, we're driving and he brings up this other girl, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know what's up with her. I don't talk to her very much. And he was like, I don't talk to her either. She talks to me. And I was like, oh. He's like insulting her yap. I love a yapper. Don't insult the women who yap. Men are here to listen to women yap. He's like, all of a sudden saying, I might have ruined it. I might have gotten weird with my vibe, but I didn't ruin it. That girl did. What are you saying? Mind you, I'm in the back and he's in the front and he's an old man, so he talks kind of soft. And I'm just like a little bit high out of my mind, just a little bit, not a lot, but like enough to, you know, when you get paranoid when you're high and it gets like bad. So I'm like high out of my mind a little bit, listening to him talk, and I'm like, this man's gonna kill me. And this is not the first time I've had this feeling. And I'm so like, part of me is like, so apologetic and is like, that's so rude, it's just some guy. But it's like, all I'm saying is that my intuition says sometimes the way he is makes me uncomfortable, and I'm allowed to feel uncomfortable. I'm allowed to acknowledge that I feel uncomfortable. I can be uncomfortable by something, that's totally okay too. Like, I don't need to be right to be uncomfortable, you know? Like, you always reserve the right to be uncomfortable, even if you're so dead wrong. Even if it's like, you're like, oh, this guy, I feel like he's following me, and like the whole time that man's like he's not even like processing that you're a person. He's dissociating. He's on a depression walk. He's on a mental health walk. He doesn't even process you as like a being right now. He's so in his head. So you cross the street and he doesn't even think twice about it. He doesn't even realize that you crossed it. He doesn't. And yet you have the right to be uncomfortable. That man was never going to do nothing to you. But if you had that uncomfortable feeling, you have the right to feel that. I have the right to be uncomfortable by anything, and I will not be calling that man for another Uber. Because also, at the bar, I give him the 40. As I kind of typically do, I give him like 40, and then he always just says, no, 20's good. He took the 40. Which, like, get paid. I know he did a service, but the reason I overlooked my intuition was because it was cheaper. And that is such a bad, like, don't do that. Next time I will get a real Uber. I'm so grateful that I went out though. I'm so grateful that I decided that nothing was gonna stop me from having a good time and that I was gonna have fun, because I went out and I saw my hairdresser and her hairstylist, I think you call them a hairdresser. She came up and hugged me and invited me to her table, and I sat and I talked to this other person, and they were like, give me your phone number, I'll teach you how to drive. And I also texted my brother. I was drunk and I was like 6 shots of tequila into it. Or no, I said I was drinking tequila. I was drinking vodka. Why did I text the word tequila? I sit there and I get a little vodka cranberry. My go-to. It's not tasting good anymore. Like, I used to drink vodka cranberries like they were honestly like a Red Bull or something. Like something that has like a little bit of like a little bit of a taste where you're like, I don't think this should be in my body. I can taste the toxins. A little bit of a taste of like, ooh, that's fun. Like enough of a taste of like, ooh, that you don't give a shit. Yeah, that's how vodka cranberries used to taste to me. Now they're starting to taste just like not good. It tastes like alcohol, maybe, is what I can say. I drank my little vodka cranberry and just like sat spinning the ice, contemplating things. And I made a list of all the things that make me happy earlier in the day. And I was thinking about that. I have come to the conclusion that I'm actually just a bored housewife. I just need activities to fill my time with. I was thinking about that. Then she comes up to me, invites me to her table. I go sit over there. We sing karaoke songs with them. It's really fun. It's actually a lot easier to just jump into the song that you have no clue what is, and find the rhythm and just read the lyrics. Even when you don't read the lyrics, something about it kind of feels like you intuitively know what it is, which is really cool. I texted my brother though, and I was like, I will pay you $10 an hour with a 100% interest rate after like 3 months of completion. Teach me how to drive.